Hey guys, Melinda Haynes, license number 102308. Look, I'm not in my car. That never happens. So today I want to talk about setting boundaries with trauma survivors. Now, the reason I say this is because a lot of us, us, me included, I'm the ringleader, can look at people's histories, their trauma history, and have this big heart or this understanding of, oh, well, what you've been through, and I understand where that behavior comes from, and blah blah, so on and so forth. But here's the thing that we need to understand, that behavior of being accepting and understanding their past and their trauma and yada yada, that can actually be a codependent kind of behavior, or it can actually be enabling. And enabling, there's a difference between codependency and enabling just a little bit. I mean, they're tied together, but there's a difference, and we'll go into that later. But when we are allowing people to continue in destructive behaviors that hurt us, or that are just not effective in interpersonal relationships, when we're just consenting to that and going along with it and excusing it, hoping that they're gonna, all of a sudden get a light bulb, or something's gonna change because they're like, wow, you loved me through that, and so now I'm, this wonderful, great, awesome person with all these great coping skills. That doesn't usually happen. So there are times when we need to set a boundary around somebody, even though they've had trauma in their past, and even though, they've had, all these different horrible things, attachment issues or whatever, we need to still set a boundary on some of their behaviors and on the person themselves, just because sometimes what they've learned is hurtful to us in relationship with them, and we need to allow them the opportunity to grow and to work through that stuff without us in the middle being like, yeah, use me as an emotional punching bag, or whatever the case may be. We're not going to go into all the different details of what kinds of behaviors could occur. I'm sure you're already thinking of some in your own head, of some people that maybe have had a rough past, they've come from rough places, but they just never wanted to learn anything different. So by us kind of stepping back and saying, I'll be in a relationship with you, or I'll talk to you again, or whatever, when you work on these issues, when you work on you, so that way I can be safe too, and we can have this really good relationship together at that point. When you step back and do that, you're allowing them the opportunity to grow, and you don't have to take that, I want to say emotional abuse, because it's not always abuse, sometimes it's just ineffective, but whatever it is, you don't want to have to take that in the meantime, waiting for them years and decades for somebody to get help for their own issues, because that's the stuff they need to own themselves. So anyways, what do you guys think? Have you ever had to set a boundary with somebody where you felt like, oh, poor them, I really understand where they come from? Have you ever had to do that? Was that difficult for you? And how did you do it? How did it work out? So anyways, post your comments below. Thanks for watching.